Good afternoon, and welcome to Civil Procedure 101. No, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Chris Gast, and I want to welcome you to the 2022 Graduation Award Ceremony. I'm a 2013 graduate, a professor of practice here at the College of Law, the director of special projects, and a former Graduation Award recipient. So when you grow up, you can be just like me. But why don't we leave the bad jokes to me and you go forth, make our profession stronger, make our communities more just, and allow us to honor you today. So on behalf of the College of Law, the faculty, the staff, and everyone joining us today, thank you for being here. To everyone who is joining us on Zoom land, yes, we are still there. Hello and welcome. And let's get started. Today, we will present awards to 25 graduates that were pulled from over 180 separate nominations. The selection committee worked hard reading each and every one, going through the stories of your triumphs, successes, challenges, and everything that you have done to make our community stronger. Each award presented here today is by a faculty member, an alumnus, or a nominator, or a donor who generously made your award possible. Congratulations in advance to each of you on your awards, and we look forward to celebrating with you in the courtyard later tonight. When your name is called, please come down, take a photo. We will not hand you your award, so you don't have to climb back over. You will come back after the ceremony and collect it up here, but please feel free to stop and collect a photo. Now, did you know that the College of Law has not just one Chris, but two Chris's? Did you know that we don't have just one Chris G, but two Chris G's? Allow me to introduce the better half. I would like to invite Professor Christopher Griffin, Director of Empirical Policy and Research, to present two awards.
Thank you, CG1. I am always actually CG2. The first award that I'm presenting is the ALI CLE Scholarship and Leadership Award. This award is presented to the graduating student who best represents the combination of scholarship and leadership. This year, the ALI CLE Award is presented to Martina Sawicka. In my nomination, I observed the following. Martina was an ideal student in both courses she took with me. The ferocity of her intellect shone in office hours and especially on her final exams, for which she twice earned an A. In no uncertain terms, Martina is more than a high-achieving student. She is, in my estimation, an outstanding reflection of the best that Arizona law has to offer inside and outside the classroom. The quality of Martina's academic writing and the analytical skills she transferred from her undergraduate and master's degrees are far beyond the average to which I'm accustomed in the law school setting. She is a truly academic student, one who knows how to conduct high-level research while juggling the rigors of the JD program. In fact, she conducted a novel quantitative empirical project for her Arizona Law Review Note that earned her the Best Research Note Award in 2021 and the Best Published Note Award this year. In terms of leadership, she co-founded, along with class of 2022 graduate Kaylee Balser, the Legal Empiricism and Discussion Society, otherwise known as LEADS. Now in its second year, LEADS has become the campus organization most responsible for highlighting student research and encouraging intellectual conversations over policy-relevant legal issues. Martina is a paramount scholar and leader at the College of Law. Martina, you've accomplished so much over your 3 years here at the college. I cannot wait to see what lies ahead in the rest of your career. Congratulations. The second award is the Roger C. Henderson Distinguished Graduating Senior Award. This award was established in 1984 by the Law College Association in honor of former Dean Roger Henderson. This award recognizes the student who has made the greatest contribution to the college. This year, the Henderson Award goes to Clarissa Todd. One of Clarissa's nominators shares the following. Clarissa has demonstrated a strong commitment to access to justice since her first year, when she was one of the first students to volunteer with the Innovation for Justice program, a collaboration of students, faculty, staff, and alumni who volunteered their time and expertise in responding to COVID-19 related legal issues. During her law school career, Clarissa has combined her prior experience working at a Chicago courthouse, her legal talent, and her background in design to amplify multiple I4J projects. Another nominator observed, Clarissa has by far made the greatest contribution to the college. She has gone above and beyond in her commitment to excellence in trial advocacy. She has won almost all of the trial competitions in all years that she has attended Arizona Law. She is always a cheerful presence on campus, in clinics, and in the workforce. I have worked with her on multiple projects, and she is punctual and detailed. She has been involved in almost every student group and helped plan and carry out multiple events. She has also served on journals and in many volunteer roles. On a personal note, I had the pleasure of teaching Clarissa as a first semester student in civil procedure and have watched you grow into the formidable advocate you are now. Clarissa's talents have only grown stronger since 2019, and I predict that her contributions to the legal profession will outshine even her contributions to the College of Law. Congratulations, Clarissa.
Thank you, Chris. I'd like to invite Arizona Law alumna and current professor, director of the Workers' Rights Clinic, Shefali Milsarektasai.
Hi, I'm here today to present the Andrew Silverman Community Service Award to one incredibly special student. This award is particularly special to us and to me because it honors Professor Silverman's extraordinary and lifelong commitment to both students and our larger community. I am thrilled to announce that this year's award goes to Bridget Feldman. I will never forget the first time Bridget walked into my office. Even though she had just begun her 1L year, she had a presence about her that made me stop what I was doing and listen to what this bright, passionate, and dedicated, driven student had to say. Bridget has dedicated her life to fighting for human rights in the form of justice for migrants and immigrants. She tirelessly volunteers for numerous immigrant rights groups, elevates the voices of immigrants through stellar legal representation, and freely shares her hard-earned legal knowledge and practical experience from working in the field. And she does this for anyone who's in need, whether it's a fellow law student or whether it's an immigrant who's asking for her advice about what to do next. She has made my life richer in many ways, including sending me recordings of her talented singing and guitar playing, songs that have uplifted my spirit when our work brings what seems to be insurmountable challenges. She is an inspired and inspiring human being who will transform, and make no mistake, she will transform the legal world for the better. I am grateful and humbled to have been a small part of her journey. Congratulations, Bridget.
Speaking speaking of Andrew Silverman, let's bring up the man, the myth, the legend. Since 1970, Professor Andrew Silverman, the Joseph M. Livermore Professor of Law and Director of Clinical Programs.
Actually, I thought I was getting the Andrew Silverman Award. Oh, well, I'll keep trying though. But I'm here to present the Danny Lee Chandler Memorial Award. Danny Lee Chandler Award was funded by the late Justice Ivo D. Concini, a distinguished 1932 graduate of the College of Law. And Danny Lee Chandler's life is exemplified the values of freedom of expression and religion. Danny Lee Chandler was more than once arrested and jailed for exercising her First Amendment rights as a Jehovah's Witness, distributing literature about her religion on the street corners of towns in Arizona. She was also the mother of a very, very distinguished lawyer in our community, Tom Chandler. The award is presented to the student who has made a special contribution to the advancement of First Amendment values through outstanding research, writing, or other law school achievements, or through significant public service involving First Amendment rights. This year's recipient is Mark Ircolano. Both of us dressed down for this performance.
Well, so much better for it.
Mark is deeply interested in election integrity and access. He wrote a substantial paper supervised by Professor Tony Massaro that addressed the relevant First Amendment and equal protection issues with exceptional insight. Professor Massaro described it as a standout paper that advanced the ball in an area of foundational concern for our democracy. Professor Massaro, who nominated Mark, went on to say, the link between freedom of expression and free election is direct. In a time of new obstacles to equal access to the vote, from extreme partisan gerrymandering to explicit efforts to dilute voting power of minority and Native communities, it is especially important that law-trained people write and speak about these threats of democracy and basic liberties. Mark will be that kind of democracy-enhancing professional voice. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, Andy. I will now invite Professor Vanessa Bush to the floor. She is the director of the University of Arizona Innocence Project.
Named after our 1992 alumnus, Daryl K. Soul, the Soul Memorial Award honors a student with a passion for criminal defense law. This year, the award goes to Jessica Wakefield. Throughout law school, Jessica has focused her coursework and extracurricular activities on gathering knowledge and experience in the area of criminal defense. During her summers, Jessica chose to work alongside talented criminal defense lawyers, both in private practice as well as at the Pima County Legal Defender's Office. She researched and drafted successful pretrial motions. She shadowed attorneys in all aspects of criminal trials, and she built powerful mentorship relationships that continue to this day. However, not content to simply try her hand at trial work, Jessica also sought out opportunities in appellate and post-conviction practice as well. For the past few semesters of law school, in addition to her coursework for all of her classes, she has worked with a local attorney, appellate attorney, sharpening her research and writing skills in cases before our appellate courts as well. I know Jessica best as a student in my year-long Innocence Project clinic, and she was dedicated and fierce and a fantastic student in the clinic. But when I think about Jessica, what I think about most is her dedication to our clients. You know, in the clinics, we talk about client-centered lawyering, and it's something that just comes so naturally to Jessica. It's something that's sometimes hard to teach, but it just came so naturally to her. She has fantastic legal skills from her research and writing. She was always willing to jump in on cases when there were things that needed to be done. She has a keen sense of strategy, but in amongst all of that, Jessica never lost sight of the person and the client behind the case. And it's that skill, it's that perspective, it's that heart that's going to make you an awesome public defender. I am proud to know you. I'm proud to have worked with you, and I'm so excited to give you this award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa. Next up to present is Professor Sylvia Lett, an Associate Professor of Legal Writing and Assistant Clinical Professor of Law.
Good afternoon. I have the pleasure of presenting the Joseph M. Livermore Service Award. It's presented to the student who has provided the greatest service to the college as a whole. This year, the Livermore Award goes to Rachel Romagna. Okay, had to get the hug in because I'm going to try not to cry. It is an honor to get to present this award to Rachel, whom I've known as a 1L in my legal writing class, as a 2L legal writing fellow, and now as a friend. Rachel's law achievements are numerous, but today I really want to talk about why I and others nominated her for the Livermore Service Award, her special gift as a community builder, although a better name to me is as a community binder. As another recommender aptly explained, there is no member of the class of 2022 who is as tirelessly devoted to improving student experience at Arizona Law as Rachel. She is the driving force for all of the Student Bar Association's efforts. Somehow, in addition to her roles at SBA, Law Review, Law Women's Association, mock trial, moot court, Rachel finds the time to help individuals. Any member of the law school community who has spent any time interacting with Rachel has likely heard of a time that she took part in something or supported a peer for no other reason than her care for the community and the people around her. Rachel has an honest and deeply held drive to make Arizona law better, and she lives out those values with everything she does. One of Rachel's closest friends told me, if I ever commit a crime, I'll frame Rachel for it because she just loves to take responsibility. Another friend noted, Rachel seems to have a time turner. She's on top of everything. She's never shy about making new friends or picking up another responsibility, despite having a to-do list longer than a CVS receipt. Rachel does more than anybody I know and complains less than anybody I know, and she makes it all look easy. For me, Rachel is a binder. She bound me and many others to our law school family by keeping us connected with one another through the socially distant newsletter and other touch points during the pandemic's first dark days when we felt unmoored, alone, and sometimes unhinged. When some of us were able to come back together in person this year, she continued to build and strengthen our community through the force of her kindness and energy, despite dealing with immense personal loss. And so, on behalf of myself and the entire law school community, thank you, Rachel. Thank you for being such a special person who has modeled strength, grace, and kindness during difficult, trying times. Thanks for being such a good binder. I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sylvia. Next, we welcome Barbara Atwood, the Marianne Ritchie and Professor Emerita of Law, co-director of the Family and Juvenile Law Certificate Program, and more importantly, an Arizona Law alumna.
Chris. Thank you, Chris. It is my great pleasure to present the Ralph E. Long Memorial Award. This award honors a student with outstanding service or contributions to the law school. The Ralph E. Long Memorial Award was created in honor of Ralph Long, a College of Law second-year student and jet pilot in the Air National Guard's 152nd Fighter Squadron, who was killed tragically October 9th, 1960, when his F-100A Super Sabre crashed in the desert near Barstow, California, while on a flight from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base to George Air Force Base. His family and friends established this award in his memory. I'm excited to present the award this year to Tate Richardson. Tate joined the U.S. Air Force Reserves before starting law school. And she had completed basic training when she got accepted into the law school. And being a person of honor, and maybe you are compelled to do this, you continued with your military service. And actually, that was considerable. She often was on assignment outside the state of Arizona while attending law school full time. Maybe the pandemic made that a bit easier with online classes, but I was really impressed that she was able to do this. She was selected by the directors of the Family and Juvenile Law Association that Chris mentioned to be the fellow for 2021-22 of, it's called the Family and Juvenile Law Fellow. This association is a group of students who want to study family and juvenile law, usually it's one or the other, and practice in that area after law school. And the person who is in the position of fellow basically sustains the program, figures out activities for the group, schedules speakers, keeps the students apprised of opportunities and networking opportunities and that sort of thing. And we selected Tate, even though at the beginning in the interview with her, she said, well, I'm going to be, with the Air Force out of state for this period of time. And we thought, well, that'll be interesting. But she pulled it off and did just a fabulous job. She did organize some incredible programs this past academic year, posted notices about job opportunities for students, kept everyone informed about current happenings, generally serving as a true leader with that group. And she also, I noticed that every time I would ask her to do something, including yesterday, she is just like, yes, yes. And she ends every email with, have a wonderful day, exclamation point. And I just, that's such a great quality. She's just a kind of bright person who's carrying an enormous responsibility with her military service and law. She's also been active in other organizations, the Justice Advocates Coalition here at the law school, promoting public interest work by law students, as well as the Law Women's Association. Tate has accepted a position with Innovation for Justice, where she will be working with the Legal Advocate Pilot Program here at the law school. And we're excited about that. After she deals with the bar exam, et cetera, she's going to be back with us. And I'm looking forward to that. And as other people have said to all these other award recipients, I'm excited to see what she's going to do in the future. Congratulations, Tate.
Thank you, Barbara. Next, I invite Professor Teresa Miguel Stearns, Associate Dean of Legal Innovation, I've already messed it up, I'm sorry. The director of the Crackiola Law Library and a steward of our law school. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. Such an honor to be here among our amazing graduates this year. I have the honor of presenting the Ralph W. Agler Memorial Award, presented to a student who has made the most scholarly and professional contributions to the College of Law this year. This award was established by Mrs. Eileen Agler in honor of her husband, who was a distinguished College of Law faculty member from 1955 until his passing at age 79 in 1964. Professor Agler had spent the previous 43 years on Michigan law's faculty. He was a leading authority on property law and committed to professional service. He served as president of the American Association of Law Schools, represented the University of Michigan on the Big Ten Athletic Conference for 38 years, serving as conference chairman several times, and he was an officer of the NCAA. This year, for his many scholarly and professional contributions, we recognize Daniel Bowman. Daniel was in my office earlier today, and when we were looking at an article we were working on, this talk came up and I said, wait, don't look at my screen. Don't look at my screen. He said, I didn't see anything. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but it's such an honor for me to give this award to Daniel. We have been collaborating all year, really. Mr. Bowman is described by his peers as honest, empathetic, passionate, and dedicated to serving people less fortunate than him. I concur on every respect, though I will add that Daniel is also brilliant and exceedingly humble. He probably hates that he has to stand here right now. I had the pleasure of getting to know Mr. Bowman since hiring him as my research assistant last summer. As we did this very morning, we are working side by side as we research and write and document the history of this amazing College of Law. And we plan to continue our collaboration as he embarks on his legal career. Daniel is the lead author on our forthcoming two-part article in Arizona Attorney, exploring the history of and alternatives to the Arizona bar exam. This required research trips across campus to special collections and combing through the microfilm. Do any of you know what microfilm is? Yes, microfilm in the basement of the university library. He is a dogged researcher as well as an absolutely beautiful writer. Mr. Bowman also researched and wrote about the history of the Fetley Moot Court competition and has just begun a series of biographies of our College of Law deans since our founding in 1915. These materials will be posted on our website later this summer. Additionally, Daniel joined the Arizona Law Review in his second year and was elected to Seniors Article Editor for his third year. Like Professor Agler, Mr. Bowman is committed to professional service. Since his very first semester here at Arizona Law, Daniel has been volunteering with Keep Tucson Together, a pro bono immigration clinic. And through this clinic, he has helped nearly 90 Arizona families by drafting their pro se petitions to the Ninth Circuit. We spent the last few months finding a successor or successors to carry on this work that he's been so dedicated to during his 3 years here. After graduation, Daniel will clerk for Chief Justice Brutinel of the Arizona Supreme Court, followed by a year clerking for Judge Kathleen Cardone at the Western District of Texas. After his clerkships, Daniel intends to return to Arizona and to public interest work once again. Congratulations, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I'd like to now invite Albertina Antonini to give our next award. Professor of Law, excuse me.
Hello, I'm so honored to be here, and I'm honored to announce the Rose Davis Public Service Award recipients for 2022. The Rose Davis Public Service Award was established at the College of Law in 1995 by the estate of Rose A. Davis. This award recognizes students who best demonstrate an awareness of an attorney's continuing obligation to the community. This year, 2 extraordinary students are the recipients of the Rose Davis Public Service Award. The first award winner is Alan Dicker. Alan was an integral member of the Justice Advocates Coalition. Even though it's a intentionally unhierarchical, non-hierarchical institution, a lot of his colleagues and friends said that he was the unofficial leader of JAC. And he's long been a public service volunteer and dedicated advocate for the underserved. Alan actually founded the College of Law's National Lawyers Guild chapter during his first year in law school. And he's used these various platforms to connect law students to the broader community. And he also has, during his short time here, helped set up concrete pathways for students to become public interest lawyers. He is a thoughtful, competent, and dedicated public service attorney already, and I'm certain he will continue to maintain that commitment throughout his career. Congratulations, Alan. Our second Rose Davis Public Service Award winner is Hannah Goins. It's a long walk. Hannah's volunteer service as social director for the Native American Law Student Association, her contributions to Pride Law, and her work on the Arizona Journal of Environmental Law and Policy and the Sweet 16 National NALSA Moot Court team have demonstrated her keen awareness of the importance of fostering strong relationships within and outside of the law school community. One of her nominators, Professor Rob Williams, added, "We are both Lumbee, and I am particularly proud of her and all she's done here as a student leader." Congratulations, Hannah.
Thank you, Albertina. And now we move into the cross-examination as we do the Trial Advocacy Awards. I'd like to invite up longtime friend of the college, double Wildcat, shareholder at Mesh Clark and Rothschild, Doug Clark.
Thank you very much. I'm here to present a Fidelity Award for trial work on behalf of my brother. My brother graduated here in 1969. I started law school here in 1962 across from Old Main in a little building that we had. And I'm present partner at Mesh Clark and Rothschild, a member of the American Board of Trial Advocates. And my brother and I tried a lot of cases together when you could actually try civil cases. Active civil litigators would try 12 to 20 cases a year. Now you'll try one. So, I don't know how much experience the recipient of this award is going to get in doing civil trials. Certainly if he stays in Pima or Maricopa County. And this award supports the advanced trial practice student who not only does a great job with his trial skills, but he shows honesty, integrity, and civility in litigation. And that's sometimes very hard to do. My brother was a master at it, no matter how volatile the case was or how nasty the trial attorney was on the other side. He did every trial with honesty, integrity, and civility. This year's award goes to Sean Aiken. Sean apparently was a educator before he came to law school, and he was a member of the Barry Davis mock trial team for all 3 years of the law school. 2020, 2021, he placed third in Richard Grand's closing argument contest and then propelled to first place in 2022. One of his trial advocacy teachers said that Sean started out delivering a closing argument that would have gotten a mistrial. So that's probably not the way you want to start out. But he finished with a closing argument that won the Richard Grand closing argument contest. He worked hard, dedicated himself to becoming the best civil trial advocate in the law school. And he did so while bringing his trial team along with him. There's a story, I guess Sean came here after his education career, and he tried to educate everybody that he was around. And he was in a trial advocacy contest and saw a bunch of law students from another school in the back. And he went out and taught them, showed them, demonstrated to them what was happening in the trial and explained to them everything. And they walked away way more educated than all the rest of the students that attended the contest. He exemplifies professionalism in litigation. He's a great example of an Arizona trial graduate, a fearsome litigator, and he also cares deeply for all of his friends, his colleagues, and he will advance our professionalism as a whole. Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Doug. Counselor, your rebuttal. I invite up our Director of Advocacy, Professor of Law, Professor Barbara Berkman.
I am delighted today to be presenting the William T. Birmingham Trial Advocacy Award, and it is presented to the student who has exhibited outstanding ability in the area of trial advocacy. Bill Birmingham, a double wildcat, graduated from the U of A College of Law the year I was born in 1951, and then went on to serve as an officer in the U.S. Army. After leaving the service, he served as an Arizona Assistant Attorney General before joining the law firm of Jennings, Strauss, and Salmon. He became one of the state's preeminent trial attorneys. He was a partner at Jennings Strauss until his retirement in 1995. Bill served as the national president of the Defense Research and Trial Lawyers Institute and the Association of Defense Trial Attorneys. He was also a member of the International Academy of Trial Lawyers and the International Society of Barristers. This year, this award goes to Clarissa Todd. You've already heard a few of the amazing things Clarissa has done during her law school career, but I want to focus on her trial advocacy. She has done what no one else before her has achieved. She took first place in 5 of the 6 trial competitions she entered in law school, except for the 6th, which Sean won. She is a 3-time U of A Jenks team competitor, something only one other person has done in the history of Arizona law. Clarissa also spent 3 years on the national trial team, making it into the semifinals at the regional competition twice. To the outside observer, it may appear that trial advocacy comes naturally to Clarissa. And while that is certainly true, Clarissa has also worked extremely hard to improve her skills. Her motivation was always internal, striving to improve her own abilities, and she has constantly sought out additional feedback and asked for ways to better her performance. Like a true litigator, Clarissa knows that you must work to improve each and every trial. Her skill and dedication is apparent to everyone who knows her, and she is going to be a phenomenal advocate for her clients and a true asset to the justice system. And I am delighted she wants to be a public defender. Congratulations, Clarissa.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm pleased to invite Lisa Ann Smith, another alumna that we are so proud of, and managing shareholder at Deacon Cheney, McDonald, Getwin, and Lacey here in Tucson to present our next award.
Thank you. It's inspiring to be here today and to hear about all of the things that all of you have done. I am the managing shareholder of Deacon Cheney, McDonald, Getwin, and Lacey, and I am here to present the Deacon Cheney, McDonald, Getwin, and Lacey Academic Award, Achievement Award, which has been being awarded since 1983 when I was in high school, and many of you were not born. This award recognizes the student with the highest academic achievement over the course of their 3 years at the College of Law. And this year, we're honored to recognize Natalie LaCourte. Natalie is a member of the first graduating cohort of Arizona Law's Tech Law Fellow Program. Hopefully I got that all right. She's an editor for the Arizona Law Review and a member of the Environmental Law Society and the Justice Advocates Coalition. One of Natalie's professors wrote, "Natalie excels academically, and she writes about complex legal and factual issues with elegance and clarity. But what sets Natalie apart is that she does all of that with an unassuming grace and true empathy for others, which makes her an ideal mentor and teacher, and which will make her an exceptional attorney." I was so grateful. This is still the professor, not me. I don't know Natalie. I don't have that pleasure. I was so grateful to have her as one of my writing fellows last year, and it was no surprise to me that her peers recognized her with an award for her work as a note editor on the Law Review. Congratulations, Natalie.
Lisa Ann will be pleased to know that I also was not born in 1983. So, yeah, young one up here. I'd like to invite our next proud double wildcat from the firm of Monger, Chadwick, and Denker, Andrew Barber.
I love that expression, double wildcat. I don't think I'd actually heard it until now, even though I am a double wildcat. It's true. I'm here on behalf of John and Roseanne Monger. John is the managing partner, of course, at Monger, Chadwick, and Denker. I'm presenting the Monger Prize for Scholars in International and Business Law. Of course, it comes in 3 parts. There's a physical trophy, there's the cash award, and then, of course, there's the respect and approbation of the community for, again, outstanding work in outstanding scholarship and enduring achievement in the areas of international and business law. Briefly about John, he's a 1973 single wildcat, just got his JD from what is now Rogers College of Law. And he and Roseanne have both been fixtures, if not pillars, of the legal community. And they have been committed to supporting both the college and the legal community at large. John couldn't get enough. No, he is a double wildcat. Now that I think about it, that's right. He did it the long way around. He got his bachelor's, then he got his JD, then he got his LLM. So he is a double wildcat after all. And that's how I met him. In 2007, he came back to do his LLM in international trade and business law. I did the certificate program, a highlight of our legal education. I can speak for John very plainly in that regard. Every year since 1993, it's been a challenge to figure out who is the most deserving recipient of the Monger Prize based on the quality of the education you can get through the international law program here, as well as the caliber of the students that join the program. So I would like to congratulate this year's Monger Prize for scholars in international business law, Mr. Roberto Avila. So Roberto first graduated from law school from the University of Sonora 20 years ago, Although he didn't practice law himself in Sonora, he did serve as a paralegal for quite a few years there. Then he pivoted to teaching, and he's been in Tucson for several decades, almost 2 decades, teaching here in Tucson. And though he's had a career as a teacher and he's also had a family, he's decided to pivot again to pursue his passion for economic justice around the world. He enrolled in the LLM program in fall 2019, and then the JD program in spring 2020. So yet another double wildcat. And he's demonstrated excellent work ethic and study habits despite all the difficulties everybody's been facing during the pandemic. And as we understand it, after graduation, Roberto hopes to find a law practice in Arizona or Sonora where he can assist clients with their investments and facilitate trade between the United States and Mexico. That's been one of John Munger's pet projects, the promotion of trade. It's one of the best ways to ensure that everybody is on an equal playing field, bringing economic advantages to both sides, open up borders, get people communicating. Roberto, on behalf of John and Roseanne Monger, I congratulate you sincerely.
Thank you, Andrew. Before we move on, I encourage you to sit up straight. She does not tolerate slouchy in her courtroom. I invite up the most honorable Judge Terry Chandler, a proud Arizona alumna, Tucson royalty, and a longtime friend of the College of Law, Judge Terry Chandler.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to see all of you here, and congratulations certainly to the graduates and their families and friends. So I'm here to present the S. Thomas Chandler and Honorable Earl J. Carroll Awards. Let me tell you a little bit about how these awards were started because it has an interesting history. A few decades ago, the graduating class decided to start an award for people who are going into public service law. And when I graduated from the law school, there was no such thing as the class gift, but it started at some point and gained momentum. And sometimes it was something to improve the library and other worthwhile things. But this particular graduating class decided to make an award for people who were planning to go into public service. And it was offered after they had graduated. So they had a little something for the bar exam. And, it was just a really worthwhile thing that these students did. They raised the money. And my dad was the first named person on this award. And later Judge Carroll joined in. But we had to get my dad here for the announcement of the award. And he really didn't like being honored. So Tony Massaro came up with some ruse to get him here. And I had to be the one to bring him. And of course I was in on it. So it wasn't a very fun ride home, let's just say. All right, so this award required a very rigorous application process. And I know because I sat on the committee to decide the recipients of the award, and I could not believe these applications. It was really, really difficult to hone in on the award recipients that we'll be giving today. And these students are completely amazing. All of them were. So 2 students were selected to receive the S. Thomas Chandler Award. And that was, the first is going to be Amber Morningstar Byers. I'm going to read what a faculty member noted about Amber. Amber has made impressive contributions to the Arizona law community, as well as personal sacrifices that have inspired her classmates, including individuals privileged to know her and work beside her, to also become a powerful catalyst of positive change within the communities that they serve. Amber's remarkable integrity and wherewithal to inspire others through her selfless contributions to the community is clearly defined by her accomplishments. During her tenure at Arizona Law, Amber made meaningful and inspiring contributions to the law school community. She increased awareness of environmental issues as an articles editor for the Arizona Journal of Environmental Law and Policy. She improved operational strategies, including recruiting efforts for prospective students, while she served as the Native American Law School Association president. She also served on the Arizona Law New Appointments Committee, the Business Law Students Association, the Black Law Students Association, and the Arizona Law Student Diversity Committee, where her involvement and guidance has been instrumental in developing strong organizational frameworks and encouraging supportive community partnerships. Aside from Amber's significant contributions, her dedication to community service is evident in her volunteer initiatives, where she served as the prominent participant to both stop violence against women and protect land, water, and other precious environmental resources. Her exceptional volunteerism has been noted as inspirational and admired by her classmates. Congratulations, Amber. The next Chandler Award is presented to Kat Bayardi. That's fine. Now, this is something that her nominator wrote. Kat's attention to detail, capacity to learn and navigate complicated filing rules and rules of procedure, and above all, their compassion and skill in working with clients have been exemplary. Kat is deeply committed to using their education and career to serve survivors of intimate partner violence and sexual assault. As clinic student, Kat stood out early on in client representation by displaying a balance of preparation, organization, and poise. Kat was able to connect with clients and establish the rapport necessary for them to trust us with the difficult details of their cases. In addition, Kat displayed formidable composure in advocating for clients, both in oral hearings and at the trial court level, and in writing briefs in several appellate cases, which they chose to take on in the clinic. Throughout Kat's time in the clinic, they have demonstrated a level of competence that many students and attorneys, for that matter, strive for months or years to establish. I have no doubt that Kat will be a valuable member of any legal team. Congratulations, Kat. Daryl Carroll was a good friend of my dad's. You know, people are good friends when they litigate cases against each other and still speak. They're still speaking. And he wanted to join in on this award because he wanted to make it, to spread the wealth for the students. And he did join in on the award. And we will be giving two more awards this afternoon. They're the Honorable Earl H. Carroll Awards. He was a federal district court judge after a long, distinguished civil career litigating in Phoenix. And that's where he served on the federal bench in Phoenix. The first awardee is Kaylee Balzer. A faculty member wrote about Kaylee. Kaylee is a national certified counselor with a Master of Education and Education Specialist in Mental Health Counseling. While in law school, she put those skills to use in a myriad of ways that benefited the law school community and Tucson. Kaylee's activities are too numerous to be recounted in detail here, but some highlights include serving as an innovator for justice, which I4J is the name we're using. She was an I4J fellow where she spearheaded the Pima County Emergency Eviction Legal Services Landlord Engagement Project. On behalf of I4J, Kaylee also gathered eviction data in Arizona and Utah to prepare for a fall 2021 Innovating Legal Services course, co-taught a project-based course addressing the challenge, how might we legally empower underrepresented communities in Arizona and Utah experiencing housing insecurity, alongside with 2 full-time I4J staff, 2 alumni coaches, teaching 14 enrolled graduate students in JD and MLS programs at 2 universities. In recognition of her work for I4J, she received the Cali Excellence for the Future Award, as well as other awards for empirical methods in the law and UXJ Justice, another UX for Justice. Kaylee recently accepted a full-time position with Innovation for Justice after graduation to continue her public service law work to create greater access to low-cost legal services for Tucson and beyond. Congratulations, Kaylee. And finally, the final Judge Earl Carroll Award recipient is Bridget Feldman. Bridget's nominator wrote the following: the ferocity of Bridget's intelligence and passion for civil justice are always on display. I imagine I will be extolling her legal acumen, her commitment to public service, and her outstanding personal qualities long after she graduates. Her 1L summer work with the Florence Immigrant and Refugee Rights Program was not even the first step toward that future. It was but the natural continuation of her pre-JD experience in the public interest space. I am so impressed with Bridget because she is a socially conscious and deeply generous student. From our first office meeting, she radiated an ardor for public interest advocacy that rivals seasoned practitioners in the field. She brings a warrior mentality to the public interest sphere, but with appropriate respect and compassion for others. I can imagine Bridget founding her own Arizona-based organization that serves immigrant communities. I can see her leading a group of like-minded peers to raise the national profile of the college's already first-rate Justice Advocates Coalition and National Lawyers Guild chapter. And I can confidently predict that she will remain at the forefront of the movement for a more inclusive and equitable society. Bridget's sincerity is palpable. It reassures me that the future of impact litigation and representation of the marginalized and underserved are in good hands. Congratulations, Bridget.
Congratulations to you all. I would like to now invite our own Professor Paul Bennett, Director of Clinics and Professor of Law. Because I knew it was going to be this long of a walk. I would have told the story.
Sorry, I never follow Judge Chandler anyway. Bad idea. It's my pleasure to present the Jim Heimlich Award for a student who will be having a career in public service, but also for a student who participated in the James Heimlich Memorial Detention Teaching Program. Unfortunately, we haven't had the detention teaching program for a couple of years because of COVID, we haven't been allowed in the facility. Judge Heimlich was a 1973 graduate of this law school. He was a juvenile court judge. I know Judge Chandler knew him. Unfortunately, he was taken way too early with ALS. He was a judge when we were first opening our child and family law clinic. And I remember him pulling me aside after hearing one day saying, "Wow, your students object a lot." None of them sustained. Anyway, it's my great pleasure to award or to present this award to Tate Richardson. We tried to sit as far away from each other as possible. So let me say a couple things about Tate that Professor Atwood did not, because we talked to each other, not because she was leaving things out. Tate is a wonderful participant in our child and family law clinic. She's a terrific attorney on behalf of children that she represented. I, in my head, have a particular image of Tate being the only person in a room advocating for what our particular child client wanted, a very troubled kid, and fighting very fiercely almost everybody in that room to try to have a different outcome for him. And because of the way things turned out, has resisted saying, "I told you so," to every one of those participants, because she was right on. In addition to being in the clinic full-time, which takes a lot of effort for Airman Richardson, who's in Alabama, to do, but Zoom does help. Tate was our Jacqueline Morris Fellow, the initial fellow in a new program that we have. And in that, she came up with a remarkable project. Right now, there's about 6,000 kids in Arizona who are in foster care being cared for by relatives. And those relatives receive almost nothing from the state to care for them.
$75 a month.
Almost nothing. And there's a bill to raise that in the state legislature, but for some reason, the House won't vote on it. A lot of those kids have special needs. And a lot of those kids we think would be eligible for something called SSI, Supplemental Security Income from the federal government. Doesn't cost the state a penny. And Tate created a remarkable video to educate people about how they can obtain those benefits. And even more so, got the Department of Child Safety, who never agrees to anything, to agree to distribute that video around the state and to help process those claims. They even let us put their email right up on the video. And I think that's going to help hundreds of kids in this state and their families get the benefit.
Thank you, Paul. I would like to invite Professor Mona Hamel, the Arthur W. Andrews Professor of Law.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. It is my honor this afternoon to present the Junius Hoffman Beyond the JD Award. Junius Hoffman was a very long time faculty member here, and a number of his students led by Corinne Cooper and other friends and former students in 2000 set up this award. Now, Junius, I have very, very fond memories of. Mr. Wall Street, maybe would be a good way to describe him. He was a scholar, just a genius in the area of finance and securities. And he also had a wonderful sense of humor. And the award is presented to a graduating student who is seeking to continue their education in a graduate degree granting program and who has demonstrated promise of contributing significantly to the legal profession as a result of this additional education. It is my honor to present the award to Michael and Earl. So Michael has served while he's been in law school as the editor-in-chief of the Arizona Journal of Emerging Technology. He is a veteran and has done clinical work with Professor Husky on the Veterans Advocacy Clinic. I met Michael during his time on the employment or the Workers' Rights Clinic, excuse me. And so it might seem odd with all this advocacy, how he would be getting a business type award. But shortly after I accidentally met him in her clinic, he contacted me and expressed his interest in tax. And so it's not quite as exciting as the courtroom drama. However, he and I have spent countless hours reading and interpreting the Internal Revenue Code in parks all over Tucson, where I have grown to know his dog Haley quite well. After graduation, Michael will be pursuing an LLM degree at NYU, most prestigious program in the country. I am exceptionally proud, and I am certain that Junius would be as well.
Thank you, Mona. I would now invite Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor of Law, Director of the Program in Criminal Law and Policy, Advisor to the Arizona Law Review. Are you Santa Claus too? Professor Jason Craig.
Thank you, Chris, and good evening, everyone. So the awards that I'm here to present tonight are called the Dean's Achievement Awards. They were certainly not picked by me. They also weren't picked by Dean Miller, but there was a committee to pick these awards, and I'm honored to present them. I think the committee made 4 outstanding choices. So the first 2 awards are the awards for community engagement here at the college, and they're presented to 2 students this year who have demonstrated commitment to building a passionate, connected community at the College of Law. The first award is presented to Dylan Dobson. Let me share a little bit of what Dylan's nominators wrote. Since the beginning of his tenure, Dylan has relentlessly demonstrated profound dedication and commitment to making his experience at Arizona Law outstanding and beneficial, but not just to him, but to each of the individuals at the college who he's come in contact with. Dylan's accomplishments translate into generous contributions that are exemplified by the many sacrifices he made to go above and beyond just earning a JD and MPS degree in Indigenous governance while he was here. Dylan volunteered as the Native American Law Student Association president for 2 consecutive terms. He organized NALSA's local chapter's participation in the National NALSA Moot Court. He developed and managed NALSA's newsletter to improve communication and highlight community activity and events. He directed successful outreach and recruitment strategies for NALSA, organized over 25 events for NALSA, which included panels, social events, film screenings, and others. And he identified fundamental resources to support the activities of NALSA, including office space and funding sources. Congratulations, Dylan. I look forward to watching your career unfold. The second Dean's Achievement Award for Community Engagement goes to Kevian Pinckney. So let me just share with you what some of Kevian's peers have shared with us and shared with the committee in selecting him as one of the 2 recipients of this award. He's described by his peers as, quote, a person who has always been eager to assist his classmates, to act as a mentor to new students, and to represent the College of Law in the Tucson community through his work with the Black Law Students Association. Kevian was a teaching fellow for the undergraduate law program, a research assistant to Professor Sostrom, president of BALSA, and a library assistant at the College of Law Library during his time here. As president of the Black Law Students Association, Kevian has continued the Coffee Conversations series that BALSA had created, where candid conversations surrounding minorities in the legal community are discussed throughout the year. Kevian has been a keynote speaker at various high schools, career days, encouraging students to consider and to enter the legal profession and hopefully to join us here one day in a few years. He's also known for organizing and creating Halloween and Christmas gift packages for children at Banner Children's Hospital. He represents, in short, this is what one nominator said, what all of us should strive to be: a good friend, a positive role model in our community, and a person who tries to make tomorrow a bit better than today. Congratulations. The second set of Dean's Achievement Awards are for leadership. So these awards are presented, in this case, to 2 students who have demonstrated a commitment to their fellow students and contributed to the life of the college. The first award goes to Jessica Smedley. Let me share with you what some of the nominators for Jessica have shared with the committee. So prior to law school, Jessica served in the military as a former leading petty officer in the Department of Security and Law Enforcement with the Office of Naval Investigation in the Navy. While in law school, Jessica has been a stellar law student. I know this from having Jessica in class. She is the recipient of several other awards throughout her career here, including the Udall Family Prosecutorial Fellowship, the James A. Walsh Scholarship, the Marianne Ritchie Scholarship. She's also served in an outstanding fashion as a student attorney in the Veterans Advocacy Law Clinic. One other important thing that Jessica has brought to our community is a strong advocate for student mental health. Now, I personally didn't see this. I'm not sure how I missed it, but this included on several occasions Jessica bringing her gentle giant of a horse, an actual horse, Bowden, to law campus here to help us de-stress during particularly stressful times at law school. Jessica, congratulations and thank you. And the final Dean's Achievement Award for Leadership goes to Isaac Stein. Isaac has been behind the scenes, this one nominator mentions. He's made several very important contributions to the law school and to students here at the College of Law. Isaac was instrumental in getting the law school to offer or re-offer an accounting for lawyers class that will prove extremely helpful for people who are going into practice or maybe solo practitioners as well. He helped NALSA secure tens of thousands of dollars in funding for NALSA's organization to attend a national Indian law conference. Further, his participation in leadership in the Graduate and Professional Student Council, this is a university-wide organization, has helped the law school in many other ways. Through his recruitment, the law school representation on this university-wide student governance organization has increased sixfold during his time here. And he spearheaded the effort to resurrect the Graduate Professional Student Council's Supreme Court. And through this organization, many of you and many of his classmates have been able to participate and gain very practical legal skills while they were here in law school. Isaac has been a passionate advocate for transparency and democracy, and I look forward to seeing what he does with his career. Congratulations, Isaac.
Thank you, Dean Craig. I would now invite Eric Button, Vice President of the Law College Association, alumnus of Arizona Law, to present the LCA Awards.
Double wildcat.
I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. The Law College Association Award for Scholastic Merit is given to students who have demonstrated academic achievement and made scholastic contributions to the College of Law. This award is presented to Ying Jun Yen. Ying Jun's nominator wrote, Ying Jun has been instrumental in supporting global programs, projects, and events, as well as being a leader among international students. He was one of our first graduates in the OUC UA BA in law program and spent significant time in Tucson during his undergraduate studies and, of course, his JD studies. He currently boasts an impressive 3.722 GPA in his JD program. Making it more impressive is that English is not his first language. One professor added, I had the pleasure of teaching him in both our BA and JD programs and was always impressed by his curiosity, work ethic, and overall desire to constantly improve. Congratulations. The Law College Association Award for Service recognizes students who have given significant service to the college and/or the legal community. Today, we have 3 outstanding and deserving recipients. The first award is presented to Mari Nemec. A peer wrote, Mari has worked tirelessly to assist others and engage those around her in their communities, all the while a full-time law student and caregiver. She's directed free legal clinics for LGBTQ+ populations in Southern Arizona, worked on research and advocacy projects for more equitable remedies for domestic violence survivors, has directly assisted countless low-income community members in accessing free and low-cost legal services, has coordinated safe zone trainings for the law school community, directly represented marginalized populations in court, and has even led campaigns for more equitable legislation in the Arizona legislature. These undertakings, in addition to being a full-time student and caregiver, have meant that Mari is consistently busy with so much on her plate. Though she is so often buried in this kind of invaluable work, Mari is always willing to meet with others who are interested in public service. She has taken so many meetings with students at other law schools across the country who want to make their communities more equitable and just, and her impact is felt in each of these places. Congratulations, Mari. The second LCA Service Award goes to Caleb Gallus. Caleb's nominator wrote, Caleb has shown outstanding public service through the Workers' Rights Clinic, which he has been in for 4 semesters. Caleb created a program with the Southside Workers Center, a community immigrant nonprofit, to ensure low-wage immigrant workers can receive legal education and advice through the clinic. He has spent countless hours at the center providing free legal assistance to community members. I don't want to mess this up. Professor Desai wanted to specifically say, in the 4 semesters he participated in the Workers' Rights Clinic, Caleb dedicated extraordinary amount of time, legal knowledge, and creative lawyering to ensure that immigrant workers throughout the state understood their legal rights, knew how to fight for them, and were empowered to collectively seek just and fair treatment in the workplace. He spearheaded and enhanced our community education and outreach program, engaged in on-the-ground relationship building with immigrant groups and unions across the state, and worked to form the first Arizona immigrant worker-owned business inspired by cooperative principles. He did all this and more with an infectious enthusiasm and remarkable commitment to uplifting the voices of marginalized and vulnerable communities. He is at the forefront of a new generation of movement lawyers. Congratulations, Caleb. The final LCA Service Award goes to Lex Lutzenheiser. Les is joining us remotely from Colorado today on Zoom. Their nominator wrote, Lex was a student in I4J's Innovation for Justice course in fall of 2021, and is currently one of our leadership students. Her commitment to community is impressive. As a volunteer for the Colorado Poverty Law Project, she has supported their advocacy team by providing, somebody's joining her, by providing research on fair housing protections for veterans, which her research was used to back a bill that was just signed into law a few weeks ago. Local housing and development ordinances to help identify communities that would be best fit to welcome refugee families moving into Colorado who wish to collaborate, and eviction laws that could potentially be implemented in Colorado in the future to reduce instances of discrimination and homelessness. Lex has also volunteered time to local suicide prevention efforts for young LGBTQIA adults and youth this semester. Her commitment to service has given her a lens that enables her to approach innovation for justice, community engaged research with care and respect for the community. Lex models what it means to live our values through her community service and is an inspiration to those who work with her in class and know her personally. Congratulations, Lex. Congratulations to all of the recipients, and it's so impressive. These students, I'm overwhelmed. Just, yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Congratulations to all of our recipients, but more than congratulations, thank you. Thank you for your passion, your drive, your commitment to make our community stronger. Your contributions have made Arizona law a better place. While graduation may seem final, the end of a chapter, it is not. It is a new beginning, a new place forward. And I hope you take today as a reminder that our community believes in you, has seen your work. Now go and take that and make a difference in the communities that you will join. So as one last effort, would all of those in the room please give a big round of applause to our recipients.